What's up, guys? This is Doug, KB2, UKA. Oh, boy. All right, so this is just going to be some free flow thought on what's going on with FlexRadio right now. All of this is speculation. Do not take this as fact. This is just my opinion. All the wonderful disclaimers that I'm sure... let's see. That's what I'm using for audio. I told you this is going to be free flow thought, but all the nice little disclaimers that I'm sure I should say. Hold on one second. Okay. So walk with me through this timeline here. Last year at Hamvention, they released the 8000 series. They tell you you're going to get adaptive predistortion. Okay. So a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was at Hamvention, they released the brand new Aurora radio. Internal PA or whatever the hell they're calling it now, 500 watts, built-in tuner, boom. Standalone radio, looks great, okay? Adaptive predistortion, I believe, was released today with the preview video on Flex's YouTube page was yesterday, I believe. Here's my thinking. They release adaptive predistortion today, and they're saying it's a beta, and it only works on the internal PA of the radio. So if you have an 8000 series and you download and pay for the new Smart SDR, you can use adaptive predistortion, but only with the 100 watts built into the radio. So that's a issue for me right there, okay? The whole purpose of adaptive predistortion is to go QRO, in my opinion, and have a crystal clean signal. The second purpose of adaptive predistortion and why it's so popular is for the audio guys. We like to do wideband audio. We like to pump compression appropriately. And adaptive predistortion allows you to really push it to the limits without causing spurious emissions and interference to adjacent signals. So, okay, cool. Your 100-watt radio now has adaptive predistortion. How dirty was it at 100 watts? It's not crystal clean at 100 watts, so it will clean it up. But, if you were running 2.7K on a Flex 8600, at 100 watts, you're just not going to be 5K wide. You're just not. Now, if you put your amplifier on, you may be. Okay? So, the theory here, now this is just a theory. The theory here is that the delay of adaptive predistortion was due to the DSP adaptive predistortion code by Dr. Warren Pratt. And that code being patented and also open source, which means you can't charge money for it. So I believe Flex put their smart signal code embedded into the FPGA. So follow me here, okay? They put the code in the FPGA, which means the only way to get the adaptive predistortion is to buy the radio with it built into the FPGA or a firmware update that puts it into the FPGA. I think it's funny because Flex has like a advertisement or a tagline. I think it says, and I'm paraphrasing, I think it says the software is the radio. Well, in this case, it's in the FPGA. They were catching a lot of flack over the last 12 months. Where's adaptive predistortion? Where is it? You said it would come out. It's going to be vaporware. And I made a joke that they're going to release a new radio at Hamvention instead of adaptive predistortion, and they did. And then I started to think about it. Wait a minute. They release a new radio with 500 watts. The adaptive predistortion is going to be on the FPGA. They tell you you cannot sample an amp right now. You can't sample the RF feedback, the RX feedback from the amp. What if they never release a version of their smart signal that works with an external amplifier? Because they can't. Because in order for the software to sample the feedback, that has to be in the software, I believe, not on the FPGA. So if you can't release the software with adaptive predistortion, maybe because it looks a lot like Dr. Warren Pratt's, maybe, could be, then you're just going to have to build radios that do a lot of wattage. Maybe next year they release 1,000-watt Aurora or a legal limit Aurora. And the other weird thing that I picked up on one of the videos from Hamvention, Flex has always done a buyback program. Okay? Mike Walker was asked on that video, are you going to do a buyback program for the 8000 series for the guys that, just spent a lot of money, 2 months ago and bought an 8000 and now want the Aurora? And he said no. That's odd. He said if you're going to have to sell it on your own if you want to use that asset to purchase the Aurora. So that's it, folks. It's been a year. You finally got adaptive predistortion. It only works in the radio. $350, $450 Hermes Light brick radio, a $700 Anon Apache Labs Anon 10E that's going to be released soon. They all do adaptive predistortion. They all do it with any amplifier that you own. You can sample any amplifier and get a crystal clear signal. My theory is Flex will never release adaptive predistortion to work on third-party amplifiers. They're just going to keep making radios that have more and more output power, and you're going to have to use their smart signal internal inside the radio they produce. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. What do you guys think?